Before you start heat shrinking stuff, you want to completely finish this up, because as soon as you start heat shrinking stuff, you waste your heat shrink, and then it just starts being a pain in the butt. This is the connector for my starter here. Technically speaking, if I were to finish this, I'd put my connector on, we'd push this heat shrink right up to the end, we'd heat shrink it, and this guy would be shielded. This one would be done and ready to go. So it would be ready to plug in and be done. So now we're gonna move on to the easy sections, because this is the one I wanted to get by because of the connector, which is annoying. The connector is annoying. We're gonna start setting up for our next section, and I typically like to just do all of the things I know are 100% together. So what I'm gonna do here is find the very ends. So all the way down at the very, very end is going to be my TPS and my IAT, stuff like that. My crank and cam sensors also will have some shielding on there, even though they're already shielded twice. Down here at the end, we got the 5 volt, we got the ground, and then we got the TPS. Completely separate these, so pull all your wiring away from this. Separate them all the way up to the base. You can see where I've got my union here for my sensor grounds. Obviously this guy right here, when I fully push it over, it's gonna come right over the top of all these. So it's just fine to slide this back so that way you can have room to work. We're gonna run the shielding right down to the end of this. So it's gonna stop when we get to this point. All the rest of these are gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna take this. I'm gonna make sure that this guy is spiced up. Burn the end of this so it doesn't fray. And we're just gonna take these guys. And because now you're doing pairs of wires, this isn't going to shrink like you think. So what you can do is run it all the way down to the end here, and you can get yourself a measurement. So you say the connector is going to be about right here on the end, and you're just going to run this all the way down to the end and get yourself a length. Cut yourself a length like that, or you can just do what I do, and I'll slide everything through the front, and then when I get to the end, I'll find the end of the wires, and then we'll snip it. So since these wires are so small and there's only 2, it's quite literally, it's very, very easy, and you basically get the exact length of shielding. It won't do what this does here, where it looks like you got a lot and then you don't have that much whenever you get to the end. The stuff is also really cheap. It's like $7 for 100 foot of it. So, but I will admit that you use it up pretty quickly if you are stuffing a lot of wiring in here, because 100 foot could cover like 50 foot of wiring. If you've got 50 foot of wiring, that's pretty thick. We're all the way here at the end. What I'm gonna do, since I'm down here at the end like this, I'm going to get the measurement of where I want my connector to be. So I'm gonna pull it back just a little bit. And so this is gonna be the length that's gonna be on the other end. So we'll pull it back a little bit just like this. We'll get a length. Make sure everything's nice and tight. We're basically being based off the ground though, so pull it tight just like so, and then we'll go down to the end, push all of the excess out, and then we will look inside here. You can feel it whenever there is no more wires, but if you have an issue, you can just shine a light through there while you're squeezing it, and you'll be able to find it. All right, so here is the end. So I'm gonna snip it right here, and then we're gonna heat it up. Burn the ends. Then we're gonna take this guy, and we're gonna run it all the way down to where it's supposed to be. We'll slide this heat shrink over, and then this one will be ready to get pinned. So now we've got our heat shrink on here. We can strip these and then pin it. You'll also notice that these are out of length, and that's gonna happen. You're not gonna be able to get these perfect every time unless you have like a jig that you can lay your wiring out on to do. So before we do everything, like once we get everything shielded, before we put the connectors on, you're just gonna snip them to length, match the shorter one, and then you'll be good to go, you'll be ready. If this is a little bit too short, your heat shrink can make up for it. So you can always cut your heat shrink to length, just to assist you with the way that your harness looks. But as of right now, this is the IAT, and now we are on to the next. Before we go to the next one though, I just want to kind of show you. So now we've got two of them right here. If we take this shielding and slide it down and run it over the top, you can see that it covers everything. And so now we've got two of these guys coming out of here. And then this will run right over the top just like that. And now you guys can really start to see the final picture. And it looks so, I mean, it just looks so good at the end. The same thing here. We're going to get our shielding. TPS is 3-wire. If you are doing a standalone factory, it's a 4-wire, but the 4th wire doesn't matter on a standalone ECU. But even 3 wires is not enough to expand this to where it's a problem. So once again, I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to slide it all the way down to the end. Alright, so we're all the way down here at the base like we were before. We're going to get a little measurement. And right here on the end is where we're going to cut it. And we're going to spice it up. Slide it. Jesus. Every single time that thing falls over, I think this is it. That's the end. It's the end for me. This is how I go out. I'm going to take this heat shrink, slide it over, and now this connector is ready to go on for the TPS. The crank and cam sensors are probably some of the easiest because these guys just go. And there we go. The shielding's about at the length of that one. We'll snip it. We'll burn both of these since we're right here. Do that. Burn. And we'll slide this guy over. For the crank. And now the crank is ready to go. And the cam sensor's right here, so might as well just do it too. Cam sensor's gonna be very short because it's right next to the injectors. First, it's right next to cylinder 6 injector, which is on the back of the engine on a JZ. Next, we're gonna do my pressure sensors. So same thing, make sure you are running it to the end of the closest joint. So don't make it any longer than right up against here. Alright, this is my fuel pressure. The fuel pressure is finished. the whole harness now has shielding on it. And so essentially, everything is like all set down here, right here on the midpoint. Now, when we slide this guy down, we'll be able to slide it right over the top of all of this other shielding and tuck it all inside. So now this will slide right over the top of this, nice and snug, just like that. Look how nice that looks. Let's lay it down on the floor here so we can see just how nice this looks. So you can see where it comes right together and it unions, and then now it's just a flying lead. And then it goes to all the connectors. So now I'm going to take this harness outside and we're going to make sure that everything runs to where it's supposed to, which I have faith. There's a chance though, but there it is. All right, we got my harness. I don't have my tripod out here, but all I got to do is test fit this. I'm going to run this up into the dash. Then we'll run the rest of the harness behind the head, get everything situated to where everything's going to plug in. And fingers crossed, everything just works first try, especially since I did the snipping and stuff while we were in there. Did some measurements and stuff doing the grounds and the powers. But so far, everything looks good. The harness itself looks very nice, as all my harnesses do. I like to make them look good. So, we get this thing ran, make sure everything's good to go, and then we will move on to the connector process.